Hi guys, welcome back to Math with OG. In this video, we'll be looking at subset of a set. Now, how do you tell if a set is a subset of another set? The reverse is most times we say that the reverse is superset. That means if A is a subset of B, we can say that B is a superset of A. But we don't usually use the word superset. We focus on the word subset. Now, as you can see on the board, if A and B are any two sets, and we should have a set A, you also have a set B, then B is called a subset of A. B is called a subset of A if every element of B is also an element of A. So if I have a set B to be equal to 1, 2, 3, and a set A to be equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. As you can see on the board, sorry that my writing is kind of small because of the little space here. So this set B here is 1, 2, 3, and set A here is 1, 2, 3, 4. So because we know that every element in B is also in A, 1, 2, 3 is in B, 1, 2, 3 is in A. So therefore B is a subset of A. So therefore B is a subset of A. I know that most times you don't come across this kind of subset. You see something like this. This guy simply means proper subset. Since most subsets that we deal with are proper subsets, we normally leave it this way. You can also represent subset like this. You can also represent subset like this. This is just for proper subset, while this is for subset. So B is a subset of A. Now, if B is a subset of A, we can say that A is a superset of B. That means A contains everything in B. This means A contains everything in B. Same thing. Now, we can see an example here. You have a set A to be 2, 4, 6. You have a set B to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And as you can see, 2, 4, 6 in set A is also in B as 2, 4, and 6. So since B is containing everything that you can find in A, or we can say everything you have in A, you can also find them in B. So therefore, A is a subset of B, because everything you find in A, you can also find them in B. A is a subset of B, or we say B is a superset of A. So that is all about subset. But this subset can be divided into two: proper subset and improper subset. Now, assuming I rename A to be 1, 2, 3, I rename A to be 1, 2, 3. Following the rule of subset, if A and B are any two sets, then B is called a subset of A if every element in B is also an element of A. Every element of B is also an element of A. So I can still say that B is a subset of A, though they are equal. B is a subset of A because everything you find in B, you can also find in A. So this kind of subset, we call them improper subsets. Now, let's talk about proper subsets and improper subsets. Proper subset of a set. A set B is said to be a proper subset of the set A if every element of set B is an element of A, every element of set B is an element of A, whereas every element of A is not an element of B. Every element of B is an element of A, but every element of A is not an element of B. So this is taking us back to the original example, which is what? 1, 2, 3, 4. So every element of B is an element of A. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. However, every element of A is not an element of B. So you can say B is a proper subset of A. But if every element of B is an element of A, and at the same time every element of A is also an element of B, we call that improper subset. As you can see here, otherwise B is an improper subset of A. So when you have A to be equal to, so I'm writing the same thing here, 1, 2, 3, and you have B to be equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, A is a proper subset of B because every element of A is an element of B, but every element of B is not an element of A. However, if I clean this 4, it means that A is an improper subset of B because every element of A is an element of B and every element of B is also an element of A. So if A is an improper subset of B, it means that B is also an improper subset of A. I'll go over it again. If A is an improper subset of B, it means that B is also an improper subset of A, and that also means that A is equal to B. So I can write it this way. If A is an improper subset of B, now we're using this symbol to represent improper subset, and B is also an improper subset of A, then A is equal to B. Then A is equal to B. For the last time, if A is an improper subset of B and B is an improper subset of A, not and, then B will also be an improper subset of A. So I'm using and because we don't know if this is proper or improper subset. So if A is a subset of B and B is also a subset of A, it means that they are both improper subsets of each other. Then A will be equal to B. So that is that, or that is all about subset. In our next video, we'll move on to power set. What does it mean to look for power sets of a set? That's what we'll be looking at in our next video. So if you enjoyed this video, kindly use the like button, use the subscribe button, and also use the share button. Don't hesitate to comment if there's any error or if there's any question you wish to ask. Thanks for watching once more, and see you guys in my next video.